In the world of AI, there's a new currency that is quietly shaping, well, everything. And no, I'm not talking about dollars or crypto. I'm talking about something called the AI token. Honestly, understanding this is the key to unlocking the real power of artificial intelligence.
So let me ask you a question. What if every single time you used an AI, you saw a tiny little price tag pop up? You know, a cost for every question you ask, every document you feed it? Well, newsflash, that's exactly how it already works. And getting a handle on this price tag is probably one of the most important and, frankly, most overlooked parts of using AI today.
And this brings us right to the heart of what we're talking about today, the AI token economy. It's a whole new way of looking at AI. Think of it like this. Every piece of data, whether it's a single word or a huge complex image, is literally a form of currency. And if you learn how to manage this currency, you're going to be way ahead of the curve. If you don't, well, you might find your AI projects getting really expensive really fast.
Okay, so how do we master this new economy? It all starts with understanding the absolute basic unit, the AI token itself. So let's break it down.
So what on earth is a token? The simplest way to think about it is as a tiny piece of information that an AI can actually understand. See, when we look at a sentence, we see words, but an AI, it just sees a string of numbers. It's kind of like translating from human language to machine language. A pretty good rule of thumb, at least for English, is that about 750 words works out to be roughly 1,000 tokens. This is how we bridge that gap between our world and the AI's world.
And this is where it starts to get really interesting. When you see a simple sentence, the AI sees a sequence of text tokens. Simple enough. But when you look at a photo, the AI sees a whole grid of what we call image patch tokens. And that 50-page PDF you want it to analyze? Oh yeah. To an AI, that's just a massive tidal wave of tens of thousands of individual tokens.
Let's actually put some numbers on this, because it makes it really clear. A few paragraphs of text, right? That might only cost you a couple hundred tokens. But a single, standard image, that can easily set you back 1,500 tokens. And that 50-page PDF we were just talking about, you are looking at 40,000 tokens, maybe more. You can see how fast this adds up, and that's before the AI has even generated a single word back to you.
But here's the thing. The cost of tokens isn't just about that upfront sticker price. No, there are all these hidden costs that can completely catch you by surprise. So let's pull back the curtain and see what those really are.
All right, one of the biggest hidden costs is the massive difference between what you put into the AI and what you get out of it. Input tokens, that's the data you send to the model. Output tokens, that's the AI's response. The key thing you absolutely have to remember is that output tokens can be anywhere from 3 to 8 times more expensive. Why? Well, it's because the AI has to do the hard work of generating them from scratch, one by one.
So, let's just imagine for a second you've got an AI task and you figure out the baseline cost is just $1. Seems pretty cheap, right? No big deal. But what if I told you that $1 is just the tip of a very expensive iceberg?
Yeah, in the real world, that $1 task can end up costing you so much more. There are these things we call hidden multipliers that can just inflate that price like crazy. And the worst part is, most people don't even see it happening until they get that shocking monthly bill.
So what are these hidden multipliers? Well, first, you've got system prompt inflation. This is when you have to send the same big block of instructions to the AI over and over and over again with every single request. Then there's retry overhead. That's you paying multiple times because the first answer wasn't right, so you have to ask again. But the real monster to watch out for is something called agentic tool loops. This is where one simple-sounding request kicks off a whole chain reaction of background tasks, and every single one of them is just burning through your tokens. So when you start adding all this stuff up, that $1 task, it can suddenly become a $15 task, just like that. This is what we call the hidden multiplier effect, and believe me, it is an absolute make or break factor for any serious AI project.
Okay, so with all these hidden costs, how do you stop your AI projects from just becoming a giant money pit? Well, the good news is there are definitely ways to manage this stuff and actually turn AI into a huge advantage for your business. Let's dive into a few strategies for winning the token game.
Here are 4 really powerful strategies that can help you get way more bang for your buck. First, use RAG pipelines. It's a fancy term, but it just means instead of shoving a whole document at the AI, you intelligently pull out just the specific facts it needs. Second, try model cascades. This is smart. Use cheaper, faster AI models for the simple stuff, and you save the big, powerful, expensive ones for the really tough jobs. Third, there's semantic caching. This is like giving your AI a memory. It remembers the answers to common questions so you don't have to pay for the same answer over and over. And finally, constrain outputs. This is super important. You just tell the AI exactly how to answer. Be concise, use this format, and you'll slash the cost of those expensive output tokens.
And the results you can get from these strategies, they are absolutely amazing. An unoptimized system is basically like leaving a faucet running. You're just pouring money down the drain. But with a smart, optimized approach, you can slash your AI costs by 80%, sometimes even more. And you know the best part? Your system often gets faster and performs better too.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Here are a few really simple do's and don'ts to keep in mind. Do use RAG for tasks that need a lot of information. Don't just stuff entire documents into the context window. Do route your tasks based on complexity. Don't just use your most expensive model for everything by default. And this one is so important. Do monitor your token usage every single day. Please don't wait for that monthly invoice to find out you have a huge problem.
Now, the world of AI is moving at lightning speed, and the token economy is no different. So, what's coming up next? Let's take a quick look at what's on the horizon for this new currency of intelligence.
As we look ahead, we can expect some pretty big shifts. Model cascading, that's going to become standard practice. New regulations like the big EU AI Act are going to seriously shape how we build and deploy AI. And you know, by the end of the decade, we're probably going to see a big shift away from this one model to rule them all approach. Instead, companies will be using whole fleets of smaller, specialized models for different jobs. But maybe the most exciting change is a whole new type of AI model that's coming up. See, today's best models, called transformers, have a big problem. As you give them more and more information, their cost goes up exponentially. It's like trying to build a tower out of blocks. The higher you go, the more wildly expensive and unstable it gets. But these new state space models, or SSMs, are different. Their cost scales linearly, which means it just goes up at a nice, steady, predictable rate. At a huge scale, the difference in cost is just astronomical. This is a total game changer for the economics of AI.
So, after all that, what are the big takeaways here? First, you have to start thinking of tokens as a key performance indicator, a KPI, for your AI's return on investment. Second, remember this, optimizing your AI isn't optional, it is mandatory. Third, always keep an eye on your output tokens. They are the silent budget killer. And finally, get ready for a future where the best AI systems are the ones that are the most efficient and the most adoptable.
At the end of the day, the most important thing to remember is that tokens are so much more than just a technical detail. They are a brand new form of currency that is defining the future of AI. The companies that learn how to manage this currency, how to spend it wisely, they're the ones who are going to win in this new era. So, the only question left is, are you ready?